So I am from Peking, and this is Peking Duck from Costco. For those of you who don't know, perhaps we're not all historians here. Peking is what they used to call Beijing. So this is effectively called Beijing duck. Peking, Beijing, same thing. Some people say Peking. Peking duck is actually one of my favorite meals of all time, but it's so darn expensive that I never get to have it. It's like $50 to $70 outside if you eat it at a restaurant, but they do it really well, most of the places. But it's really cool for Costco to offer something like this. I think this is only like $20, around 20. I can't remember. So I was super excited to get this when it released, maybe like 2 weeks ago or something. For those of you who don't know, like Peking duck is just this duck that's crispified with the skin. And the main thing is that sauce and that thin wrapper, and also the scallion or green onions and cucumbers to go with it. You wrap up this thin wrapper with the tangy sauce with the duck, and just like, it's a 1 or 2 biter. It's really something. It's really delicious. There's a reason why it's one of my favorite meals, and there's a reason why it's so expensive outside. But I'm really excited to try this. By the way, I should also say that, okay, I can't open this. Panghulu is from China, and so is jjiajiangmian. Not to be nationalist or anything. I'm not getting like CCP points. I'm a Canadian citizen. I don't have a dual citizenship. I have no skin in the game. But it would be kind of weird if you're like, wouldn't you feel some type of way if you kept hearing like, oh, Ronaldo is from Korea. Ronaldo is Korean. That doesn't make any sense. Pasta and pizza are from Korea. That makes no sense. So why would, kind of a weird tangent, but just trying to do my part, to clear things up. Since I'm doing a video like this, like Peking duck, Beijing duck is from Beijing. California rolls, on another hand, is from Vancouver for some reason. Don't ask me nothing about that. This looks scary. I don't know what the hell that looks insane. That looks like a heart transplant. I'm suddenly not appetized. We got the wrappers. We got the sauce. These are what the wraps look like. Insane. This is that sauce, that Peking duck sauce. I'm pretty sure it's just like hoisin and some other tangy sauces. And this is the duck itself. It's got some duck fat, like rendered out. I'm probably gonna blast it in the air fryer or something like that. Ingredients, duck. That's the first ingredient. That's a good sign. There's some pretty traditional stuff in here, such as white pepper. That's a very Chinese traditional pepper. You never hear about white pepper, it's always black pepper. Star anise, or I like to call it star anise. Dried Sichuan pepper, cinnamon, dried tangerine peel, fennel, licorice root, cloves. I think I'm in good hands, even though this looks like a shark placenta. Be right back, guys. And by that, I mean, I'm gonna struggle for like an hour or 2 trying to cook this thing. All right, see you. Okay, so it does look like you get quite a bit of duck. You saw how crispy that was. I let it rest for a little bit before cutting into it. I did my best, but I'm pretty sure those professional chefs that cut it sideways and slanted, like I tried to at the beginning, but I kind of stopped because it's really hard. Those guys, I'm pretty sure, trained their whole lives to do it, or something like that. Well, this is my first time cutting anything related with duck. Here's the B-cam. I'm salivating. It's looking really, really delicious. That skin should be pretty crispy. And they give you all the fixings, like I said, except for the cucumber and the green onions. I prepped that yesterday just to make food prep a little bit more straightforward today, because I knew it was gonna be kind of a big deal with the air fryer. This is that hoisin sauce. Apologies outside. You might hear the garbage truck rolling around out there. It's garbage day almost every day up in this place. Why is there so much garbage? Is it my fault? These are just microwaved pretty quickly, pretty straightforward. Nice and warm and thin. That's one of the most important things, that it should be thin. They did this pretty well, like it's not sticking. They're all very thin. You see how thin that is? There's no hassle to it, which is amazing for this kind of meal, to not have any hassle attached to it, because there usually always is, okay? I don't know where to put this. I'll put this right up there. Hey man, time to eat, man. Whew. All right, I'm going with a solid piece right here. And what we do is we just dip. At least for me, I don't like to, I just like to dip the thing first and then put her all up in there, straight up. We usually pick this up like that. It's been so long, I might have forgotten how to eat it. And you pick up a couple of these cucumbers, these cukes, sliced thinly sideways, and a few of these green onion. Maybe a little bit more sauce to your liking. The first bite's gonna go nuts, guys. So you fold it, you just fold it like this. It doesn't really matter how you fold it, but I like to fold it like this, so it kind of looks something like that. One of my favorite parts is seeing the sauce in the back. You just know how saucy and delicious it's gonna taste. It's been a hot minute since Peking duck. I'm going in for the full experience, and then we'll dissect it. Please don't disappoint me, Costco. Your sushi was very disappointing. Hold on, just let me enjoy this one more, and then we'll get into it. Maybe add another piece. You can do however big or small the portions you want. Don't let anyone tell you nothing about it. Do what you want. Here it is. Mmm. 1 second. That skin is crazy. I would say the sauce is not 100% authentic. It might have too much, a tad bit too much, or maybe more than a tad bit too much hoisin. But it still reminds me enough of how a Peking duck sauce should taste. Especially when it's mixed in with everything here, you can't really taste it. But tasting it alone, that's why it alerted me. Some alarm bells rang off, like, it's good, but what is this foreign thing I'm tasting, right? Actually, before I make one, let me go for, that's a good, like, if I was to give it a shot, this would be a great shot to give, right? For the duck. And I will confirm my suspicions right away. Before I say anything else, I just want y'all to know, this duck is very impressive. For like being in a package, a box, okay? Extremely impressive. Having said that though, I'm gonna give you a look. Y'all can see for yourself how dry that got. Some other pieces, some of them have a bit of fat, some of them are a little bit more tender, but a lot of these pieces, they are dry AF. But that's where the sauce comes in. When you're paying $50 to $70 outside, or maybe perhaps even more, you're getting duck that's extremely juicy. So there's pros and cons. However, outside might not give you this much duck meat, believe it or not. I've seen outside just give a bunch of duck skin. That is the best part, but the meat is where the value is at. It's a little pros and cons sort of thing. The other thing is, it's not all their fault, because when you cut it on a diagonal, thinly cut it, instead of just cutting it up and down like I did, because I'm just not skilled enough, it tastes different when it's chunked up like this. When it's thinly sliced like that, it tastes better. So it's not entirely their fault, I just don't really know. I don't have that technique in me. A good thing I will say is, they really took advantage of the crispy skin and the fat parts. In the air fryer especially, I'm not sure about the oven, but in the air fryer it's crazy. You can get up to speed with that, like with whatever it's lacking, because the skin is extremely nice and crispy, crispified in the air fryer. And that's what I like about that. So There's a bunch of pros and cons. The duck is good for what it is, right? Don't get me wrong. The sauce might need a little bit more tweaking. It's not the most authentic, but it gets the job done. I know I'm eating Peking duck. There is no doubt in my mind. The wrap, it's also as good as it probably can get. It's actually a little bit thick for my taste because they probably need to make it durable. This is honestly a pretty good substitute instead of going to dish out a hundo at a restaurant with tax and tip included. No, man, it's good. It's hard to complain about that, man. You're having Peking duck at home. Come on. Here's a trick I like to do. I think I only did it once. Like I said, even though it's one of my favorite meals, I don't get the chance to do it much because it's so expensive. All right, let me see if I can do it properly. It's so freaking addictive. The crispy skin really saves it. Really saves the day out here. That sauce, man, it's definitely lacking a bit, but still tastes great. It still actually tastes pretty good. There's just something in there that's making it less authentic of an experience for me. Okay, so I know y'all are dying to hear what I have to say. If this Peking duck is Peking man approved. One sec, let me just down this last one before I give the verdict. Sometimes I like to go in with a little extra sauce. Look at that. That's just so cute, man. This brings me back. Nah, it's good. So I'm getting full. Look how much is left. Yum. Okay, it's Peking duck from Costco. Peking man approved. Yes, this is approved by me. Born in Beijing. Beijing duck, 100% approved. Authentic Asia. I don't know about authentic, but because it came from a packaging from Costco, because I got to enjoy it from my own home, I don't have to reach too deep into my wallets, and I get a good experience, a good enough experience. Hassle-free, needs a bit of work, but still able to tell for sure it's Peking duck sauce. The skin is amazing. Some of the fattier parts, beautiful flavor. It's a little bit dry. Still, my fault for not being able to cut it. For what it is, yeah, 100% approved if I know it is from a packaging. This is 100% not approved for damn sure if I get served this at a restaurant. I will want my money back. Because if I'm paying that premium and you give me this, come on, where's the chef? Let me talk to the person who cut this, which is me, I guess, in this situation. But like in the wild, I get served this, nah, I'm packing my bags. I'm out of here. I'm not gonna eat it. Don't charge me for it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna finish this up with my wife and it's gonna be a good time. This was a good experience. I actually didn't know what I was getting into. I actually thought this was gonna be just a gimmick, a fumble by Costco, like the friggin' California rolls. If you guys haven't watched that video, check that video out. It's crazy what they did to the rice. It's crazy. I've never seen rice like that. I don't understand how they did this so well. Not restaurant quality, but they did pull through, all right? 5 out of 5, at home, basic experience, very nostalgic. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.